What's up, everybody? Welcome to day 2 of the First to Deal Challenge. This is the challenge that I created back in January to help you guys get your first real estate contract. Okay. And so, day 1, we went over what a motivated seller was, right? It's an individual who has a specific problem. That problem, whatever it may be, is a level of distress. We call it the 5 Ds: death, disease, divorce, debt, and I know that there's a fifth one. I tell you, I always forget them, right? Death, debt, divorce, disease, distress. Those 5 ones. That's what we look for. Okay. Sometimes I got to run it back like I'm freestyle rapping. I'm like, death, divorce, boom. And I get it. Okay. So we got it now. We're here. Right. And so those are the 5 reasons that someone wants to sell a property. You got to be able to identify what that is because most of you guys operate and you don't have what I call a customer avatar. Who's your customer avatar and what do they look like? Once you understand what that is, then the goal is to marry your marketing tactics to that problem. We're not going out and downloading 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 leads. I want you guys to understand this. More does not always mean more. That is the wrong thing. We want to be precise. We want to be precise. Guys, if you go to the grocery store right now, like I'm in Texas, my HEB people stand up. If HEB sold vehicles, I would drive an HEB car right now. Unfortunately, I drive a TRX and it's sitting outside the front of my house. With that being said, HEB, right? Go to this place. It's a grocery store here in San Antonio. It's a Texas-based grocery store. I love HEB. I ride hard for HEB. When we go to HEB, right? There's a freaking place where you can grab eggs. If you're the type of person that gets the first batch of eggs, I don't know. There's something wrong with you. But I open it up and I look at them. I don't care if I'm getting my boogers and germs on it, man. I will look at every single egg because I ain't gonna grab the worst ones, man. I want to get the best eggs, right? And so when we look at these things, we're identifying what is a good deal. It's the same thing, same concept. You want to look for the best eggs, you get the best eggs, you open up the cart and you make sure you're in the right place and boom, walk away doing that. You know what I mean? But when it comes to your real estate business, you got to be operating it in the same level. You got to be operating it within the same light. You need to know what a motivated seller lead is. And so yesterday, I gave some of you guys homework. Who here did the homework? Drop a 2 in the comments if that's you. I did the homework. I built 3 different lists, right? So then you should have your list in front of you. You guys can just Picasso this thing, man. You know what I mean? I want y'all to take from me. Take, dude. I got a lot to give. I'll tell you that. So you're not offending me by copying any of the things that I've done. I want you to utilize those lists because, in my opinion, based on 12 years of experience, those are the lists that convert. We take the motivation from these properties, right? And this is just a quick review of what we talked about yesterday. We take these 3 motivations that we know that are there and we stack them until we get a lead that is very, very much so motivated. These are people that want to sell properties, not want to sell. They need to sell properties, not just want, they need. And so for all of my people that did your homework, man, round of applause, dude. That's really cool. I'm so glad that you're actually participating in this. If this is going to work, I'm going to ask you to work. All right. If you're afraid to work, I'm sorry, but you're probably not going to make it in real estate. And I hope that that isn't you guys that are here. So all my people that are in here, if you're doing the work, I'm proud of you. Let's run this up today. What we're going to talk about is how to market and how to market effectively. And I think that for a lot of people, they have one pole in the water, sitting on the side of the pier, praying to God that they catch a fish. Most people that I know operate like that. Now, guys, if you are just that one dude that's sitting out in the pier, tossing his pole, praying to God that you get something, it works every now and then, but you got a limit to how many fish you can catch, my friend, because you can't go all the way out there into the water, which is where most people stand in their real estate business, right? Now, you think you're going to catch more fish than the guy who has 5 lines down in his boat and he's kind of traveling across where all the leads are? It's impossible. Why? It's because that guy is invested. That guy has spent more money on his boat. He has spent more money on those poles. He knows the water. He knows where they are, and he can catch them. I don't know if any of you guys have ever gone fishing with a guide before, but man, I think I'm good at fishing. And then I sit inside a guide's boat, and this dude just like, this guy is the freaking fish finder, bro. Like this dude can literally like put his hand in the finger and be like, they're swimming that way. And I'm just like, what? Like, how do you even know that? Right. And so in my head, how do you become the fish finder of your business? How do you get your poles in the water so that you know that you're not leaving any lead behind when you are doing this deal, when you're finding deals, when you're looking for deals and you're utilizing this marketing strategy? And so what I'm going to show you guys today, okay, is this is something that I developed years ago. It's called the reticular marketing system. A reticular marketing system is very straightforward, and I just so happen to have my handy dandy mini thing that I can just raise up here and show you guys. All right. So I got this big one because I lost this one. Lo and behold, my son was trying to play me in tic-tac-toe, and I'm over here just on my phone working. This little guy pulls out my freaking easel thing. So he's been playing with this whole time. I just ripped out like 15 pages of tic-tac-toe. He's playing himself a tic-tac-toe. It is what it is. With that being said, I have my handy dandy mini one. I like this one more because I like to be able to just put it in your face and show y'all, right? It's not really that tangible this way. I'll use this one still. So for now, let's go ahead and rip this piece of paper off real quick, and then we're just gonna jump right into this. And dude, this is like a sticky note. It's pretty cool. Like I can hang my notes up. I would recommend all of you guys put what's in front of you so that you're always running toward your goals. So if you don't have something like this where you just toss out giant sticky notes on the wall, it's a great investment. Okay. And so this is what I'm going to draw out for you guys today. All right. This is a reticular marketing system. Now it starts this way. Okay. So we're going to start with cold calling, number one. I think that's always the greatest thing to start with. Okay. And then we're going to move to the next form of marketing, which is text message marketing, or called SMS. Then we're going to move to the next marketing, and we're going to call that direct mail. So we're going to call that DM. And then we're going to move to the next form of marketing, which is going to be called email blast, or EM for short. And then the next form of marketing, after all things have been exhausted, we're going to say, let's see, what is it? RVM, which stands for ringless voice messages. And then the last thing, which I would say is a very important, I call it DK, like Donkey Kong, but door knocking, and then right back up to the top again. So this is what a reticular marketing system looks like for all of my people that are in here. Okay. Can everybody see this? I want to make sure, drop a one in the comments if you're with me and you can see this, right? So this is a reticular marketing system. What does this look like here? Now, my goal is that when I have a batch of leads, whatever that looks like, okay, we're gonna run this over together. We're gonna put 123 Main Street in the middle of this. I'm a visual teacher. I hope you guys can appreciate that. If I can't draw it, I don't teach it. So I hope y'all like my little doodles. It's just the way that I feel like I can get the message across. Can everybody understand me? Just want to make sure everybody can see this. Okay, cool. I hope it's appreciated. Anyways, we take one lead that we're looking for, our 123 Main Street. This is going to be on a list of like maybe 200, 300 properties. And we're going to hit that lead in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ways. Number one is cold calling. I like cold calling because builds. This builds confidence. If you don't know how to speak the real estate lingo yet, it's gonna be something that's gonna interrupt the whole flow. Okay, because a buyer might call you out one day, a seller might call you out one day. And if you don't know how to overcome objections, there's a whole playlist on my YouTube channel called The Objection Game. I'd highly recommend that you guys get better at the objections. Today, I'm going to help you guys out with some cold calling training too. You guys ready for that? Because I love cold calling. I'm a freaking beast at it. I'm probably one of the top closers in the country, and I'm probably self-proclaimed when I say that, but the YouTube content can back up my claim. With that being said, cold calling is number one. So when we have a list of leads, the first thing that we do is we hit it in cold calling, okay? The second piece, if we can't call them, we're going to leave them text messages. So we text every single lead. Now, for some of my people, you might not be using different types of services that can automate the texting process. It could be kind of tough to send text messages because there's so many rules and regulations to it nowadays. But I'm going to tell you guys from experience, this can be scaled as well. In certain platforms, you can send text messages. I have my own platform, Alex, if you can drop the link to it. It's called Just Jarvis. And Jarvis is an acronym. It stands for Just a Rather Very Intelligent System. I got it from Iron Man. I am a freaking nerd. I'm sorry, but that's part of the game, right? And so Jarvis is a platform that is an SMS tool that uses AI to qualify leads. Not saying that you need to invest into this, but at some point, you're going to have to send text messages if you don't want any lead left behind. And you should have a checklist that marks off your list when you begin these marketing tactics. If I'm going to be marketing to somebody, and I know I've already for a fact sent out a bunch of messages or cold calls, okay, well, we've hit it with the cold calling. We've milked it for everything that we can. We've gone through this. Mind you, when you do this with this marketing tactic, the goal is to go through each individual list that you have a minimum of 5 times. So you're going to go around in a circle 5 times. This is going to take your list and it's going to spew out results. And I'm going to show you what those results look like here in a minute. So once you're done sending text messages, the next goal here is to send direct mail. Direct mail should not cost you a lot of money, guys. I mean, if you think you can probably send out 100 postcards, 100 postcards typically cost you about 25, 50 cents. You can buy the stamps and get the postcards for really cheap from Office Depot. The stamps, you can get 1,000 stamps for like 150 bucks. Handwrite every single one, stamp them, get your kids to do it. As a dad, I make my kid do the direct mail stuff all the time. So if that's you, you guys can do that with your kids too. It's free labor, bro. I'm just saying, those are parent hacks. Don't do that and tell people that I said that, but whatever. With that being said, direct mail, man. Direct mail is a great asset. Guys, you got to think about the age demographic of the people that we're reaching out to in the first place. The age demographic of the people that we were reaching out to in the first place. A lot of the lists that I built yesterday, almost every single one was over the age of 65. Am I right? Why? Because I want my direct mail to convert. Guys, I'm 35 years old, bro. I don't really check my mailbox. I check it once a month. I know, bad habit for some of you guys that may be a little bit older than me. You might be like, Quentin, what the hell are you doing? Well, I get all of my stuff that's important to me emailed to me. That's what I'm saying. I pay my bills on email, bro. I ain't going to go to like some place to send a check out. I'm not wasting time, bro. I'm busy. I don't check my mail at all, okay? And that's my demographic. Most of us that were born in the 90s, we don't check our mail. And so with that being said, direct mail works for people over the age of 65 because back in the day, before cell phones, before house phones, they were opening up letters, bro. So they still open up letters. That's why I think direct mail converts so heavily on a senior owner's property. Next piece is email marketing. Most people, when they're skip tracing, man, they ain't getting they get the emails. They don't do anything with them. They don't do anything with them. You guys got to wake up and stop like not maximizing your data. If you buy a list of leads, you get phone numbers, you get relatives' phone numbers, you typically get email addresses. Why aren't you sending them emails, bro? I can't tell you how many times I sent an email out to a seller and they're like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Quentin, trying to buy your property." They said, "Oh man, people have been trying to reach out to me. Nobody's ever getting a hold of me. They got a hold of me on the email. It's crazy." Hop on the phone call with them, boom, close the deal, get a contract. Next thing you know, I got 20 grand in my bank account. That's what email marketing can do for you. Don't sleep on this. Jarvis as well is an email marketing and texting platform, so you can use that to send out email marketing. It's up to you. I like emails though. Emails are also great if you decide to ever run Facebook ads. For all of my people in here, I would not ever recommend that any of you guys try PPC marketing or PPL marketing. Reason why, guys, is because it's very expensive and you can blow your whole freaking account doing that. Don't. Right now, it's important that if you're in this challenge and money is a factor for you, okay? Meaning like you got bills to pay, you got kids to take care of. I know how it is, man. Best advice I was ever given from my mentor, and I'm gonna tell it to you guys because I paid 30 grand to hear this. Don't go broke trying to get rich. All right? Don't go broke trying to get rich. I just want to make sure I'm tapping you on the head on that one. I apologize, all right? But I'm being real. I know too many people that get in this business that get so excited, they spend all of their money on all these fancy softwares. Don't do that. Remember what we talked about. Consistent as a tree, no more unicorns. So we're sticking to one thing and one thing only. I know I'm talking about other softwares, but don't get too excited, okay? Unless you can afford $500 a month in marketing, should you ever sign up for multiple softwares at one time? You're gonna blow your bag, bro. This business does not happen overnight. You could go 6 months without making money. And that's just the reality of it. I'll be the first one to tell you. That's real, okay? So be prepared for this. This business is like this, dog. I've seen the worst of it. I've seen the best of it. But let me tell you what, when it's like this, it sets you up for when it's like this. You get what I mean? All right. So for everybody that's here, email marketing, RVMs, this stands for ringless voice messaging. So this is going to appear on your phone like a missed call. It's pretty dope. It's going to appear on your phone like a missed call. And let me tell you what, this is what's so damn cool about this, man. They think that they missed your call, but there's a voice message. Now they have an encryption of your voicemail. So it tells them exactly what it is that you're leaving them a voicemail on. Now, whenever I leave voicemails, guys, you can do that while you're cold calling because the goal is to get them to call you back. Call with urgency. Call to urgency. And what do I mean by this? Hey, Mr. Seller, my name's Quentin. I drove by your property. It's very important that we speak. I'd love to hear from you. I'm interested in making you an offer on this house. If I don't hear from you within the next 2 hours, I'll probably call you back. Okay. So unless you don't want to hear from me anymore, give me a ring. That's the way I do it because I don't ever want to give them the authority or control to decide when they're going to call me back because I'm just going to call you again. And if I don't hear from you here in the next hour or so, you're going to get another call from me. Want me to stop calling you? Then answer the goddamn phone. Right. Then the last one, guys, this is the last one. This is when you say, you know what? Let's bootstrap this thing. You go and you door knock. Now, each of these methods that I'm talking about create 3 different results for you, okay? Number 1, These results are tangible and trackable, and they lead to one place. Okay. So check this out. Number one is called trash, which means that the individual just doesn't want to sell. Number two is called follow up or FU, which is pretty funny. And then the last bucket, these are buckets, is called contract.
Bring up in momentum.
So we have this flow, right? We have this flow. Everybody here with me? All of these leads equal these three boxes. When you start getting traction, these three boxes are what we're aiming for here. We want our leads to be converted into something. Guys, these are the trackable metrics that we were talking about earlier, right? I was talking about this at the end of yesterday's call. This right here, doing this 5 times, is going to spew out about 3 different results. Either the lead is trash, either it's a lead you got to call back later, or you get a contract. Okay. They might not want to sell you their property now, but they might want to sell you the property later. You get what I'm saying? And so doing this method where your reticular marketing system is consistent and it's going at all times creates the best results for your real estate company. All right. So I want to show everybody this because this is the concept that I would like for you to follow. Guys, you can have ChatGPT create a marketing checklist for you right now, and it'll literally produce that results. As a matter of fact, Alex, let's do them a favor. Who here wants a marketing checklist? I'll tell you what, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, send me a screenshot. I'll have Alex make one for you and email it to everybody after this call. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, message me online, send me a screenshot. I'll make sure you get the email that has all of this drawn out for you. So as you begin marketing, you can start checking off on your list what it is that you've done. So yeah, you guys want to do that for me? All you got to do, again, subscribe to my YouTube channel, send me a screenshot. Alex will email this to you tonight. All right. And so, guys, for all of my people on here, show some love too, man. Tag your boy. Tag me in the freaking post or whatever. Let everybody know that you're in today's call. I always love doing that. All right. It just helps me get the message out. I want to help more people. You guys can help me do that. Okay. So, guys, we have a marketing flow now. Do you guys get it? This is a structured format. Most people don't do this. Most people don't do this. This is important. Why is this important? When I started working out, I remember I went to my trainer, and when I started working out, man, yeah, you guys can tag me on anything, Instagram, Facebook, tag me in your story, whatever, right? So when I started working out, I did what most people do. And I think anybody here who's ever stepped into a gym understands this, right? Well, you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm not seeing any change in my body. I was 448 pounds. I started going to the gym. 6 months, I was consistent on my own. I never worked my legs out a day in my life. I didn't have any real like place where I would structure it. My legs are probably the strongest that I've ever had my legs in, period. I do my legs like 3 times a week now. I can deadlift and squat a little over 600 pounds, both exercises. So why am I telling you guys this? I didn't start there. I had a trainer, right? And so my trainer, when I first met him, I walked into his establishment, just like you guys are walking into mine today with this call. And I remember asking him, I said, hey man, what do you think I can do to start losing more weight? Right. And he asked me, he said, Quentin, what do you do when you work out? Man, I'll tell you, dude, I don't know. I went and I did whatever I felt I needed to do, which is what most people do. Guys, like stepping into real estate, you don't know what you don't know, right? And so when I'm showing you guys things like this, what I'm trying to do is create a structured plan for your day. And I remember when I talked to my trainer, he was like, "So Quentin, what are you doing?" I said, "I don't know. I just go in and I do everything. I mess with the dumbbells, and then I go over here and I do some shoulder stuff. Then I do over here and do some booty stuff. I don't know, man. I'm just doing stuff, right?" And he was like, "Quentin, if you ever want to see results, that's not measurable. That's not trackable. You're not doing something that can assist you with really creating something that's scalable where you can weigh the results based on your workouts and what your output is attached to that workout that you're doing." This is the same concept, y'all. Because I remember he was like, "This is what we're going to be doing now, Quentin. On Mondays, we do legs. On Tuesdays, we're going to do chest. On Wednesdays, we're doing arms and shoulders. On Thursdays, we're doing back. And on Fridays, we're doing full body. Saturdays, you're doing nothing but cardio. Sundays, you're doing nothing but cardio. No rest days. I'll see you on Monday." And he would tell me to do low intensity cardio. So I was like, yo, so just walking on a treadmill for 45 minutes, you'd be surprised at how much weight you can lose just doing that. Why did he do this for me? He did this for me the same reason I'm doing this for you guys now is because if you don't have a structure of what Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday looks like, then how do you ever expect to get anything measurable in your business where you can identify what the damn problem is? Some of you guys are just going in trying to figure out what to swing at every day. Dude, you got to create a structure, okay? So we can take this take your schedule and structure a plan around it where we can dedicate some time to doing that one thing, just that one thing. Okay. And if we can do this over and over again, then you can start creating traction for yourself in your business. Because now, guess what? You got metrics, you got things that are measurable. Now you can track these things. And so, man, I just want everybody here to know, like, that's something I wish somebody would have told me at the beginning. I didn't have that. I didn't have that. All I knew that I was like, all I knew what I was going to do was just going to go to the gym and that's it. You know, no, man, you can't do that. You got to be intentional. What does your workout look like? What is your routine? What are you honoring? You got to create what's called an irrefutable. There's a great book for everybody to read here. Alex, if you can grab my holy grail of books from the school platform and drop it in here. Guys, I have over 150 self-development books that I've already ripped. If you download Amazon Kindle, this is my gift for everybody here. Tag me an Instagram story or something. I don't know. Tell people about this. But I'm going to give you guys all of my books, my whole freaking library that I have in my house, all of them, and I'm going to give it to you in a downloadable format. All you got to do is download Amazon Kindle, and you can upload these books to your tablet or your phone. And let me tell you what, you can read it as though you just bought it. It's free 99. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys my books. That's my gift to y'all. Drop a fire emoji in the comments if you appreciate that. So with that being said, there's a book that I want you guys to read, and it's a specific book. It's called Eat That Frog. It's literally like 70, 80 pages long, and the book is about procrastination. And I'll be the first person to tell you guys why you're not closing deals yet. 9 times out of 10, you're really not doing the business. You just make yourself believe that you're doing it. That's, come on. I got to be talking to somebody here, man. If I'm talking to you, bro, drop a fire emoji in the comments. Some of you guys aren't actually doing the business. You're just making yourself believe that you're doing the business. You know what that's called? They call that productivity. All right. Productivity gets you fucked. Productivity gets you paid. Lord, forgive me for cursing. But I'm telling you guys right now, productivity gets you fucked. Productivity gets you paid. And unless you're being intentional about what it is that you're doing Monday through Friday, you're never going to make this thing happen for yourself. And so Eat That Frog is like this. I'm going to summarize the book into like a couple of statements. You guys go download it and read it. And what I want you to do is I want you to take this marketing system, this reticular marketing system that I just gave to you guys, dump it in ChatGPT along with your schedule and have it identify a plan of action for you. And I want you to honor that plan of action and go through it Monday through Friday. All right. I get it. We all have weekends with our family, weekends with kids, church on Sundays. I do the same thing, dude. I'm in there with you. All right. Being a dad full time, one of my most favorite things to be. I'm gonna pick up my son after this call, right? And so, guys, this is one of those things. You need to have structure. You need to have accountability. When that book talks about it, says if God struck you down right now, if God decided to just boom, hit you with lightning and end your life, and the only way that he would not do that, let's say he hit you with lightning, ended your life, and you'd spend eternity in hell. God said that you had to eat 3 live toads to prevent that from happening. 3 live, ugly, stinking, wart-filled toads. What time of the day would you guys eat those toads? Let's be real. That or burn in hell for eternity. What are we doing? What time of the day are we eating those toads? Who can tell me? Come on, man. Somebody got to give me the right answer here. Immediately. Exactly, Alex, right? Now, right? Yesterday, this morning, bro. So if you woke up in the day and somebody told you had to eat 3 toads, you'd burn in eternity for hell, right? You burn in hell for eternity, right? If somebody told you that, wouldn't you just knock it out right away? Because are you going to want to wait for the whole day to go by to eat those frogs? No, dude. And so your toads are the things that you procrastinate about. They're the things that you hold off and put off and decide not to do them. It's the book that you're neglecting. It's the Bible that you haven't cracked open. It's the alcohol that you're involving yourself in all of the time. It's the workout that you're putting to the side. It's things that are clouding your vision that you know you don't need to do. I know I got some potheads on here. I know I got some non-productive potheads on here too. I understand if you're using it for medicine. Most people that I knew, they're not doing that. Okay. They're just lazy. And so I get it. I know what it's like to have distractions in front of you. But if you don't have irrefutables, if you don't have time blocks, then this plan is never going to work for you. And so Eat That Frog helps you identify your critical tasks, the tasks that don't need to be done right away, but they need to be finished before the day's over, and the things that you can actually put off and eat at the end of the day. That's what the Eat the Frog book is about. It's 70 pages. It's about procrastination. Everybody that is in here, man, watch that. It is one of the best books I've ever read. Okay. Read it all the way through. I promise you, it'll change the way that you look and tackle your day. You know why? It's because when people schedule things, what do people typically do when they don't meet that time frame? Oh, we'll just reschedule. Oh, we'll just reschedule. You know what a time block looks like versus what a schedule looks like? You can't reschedule a time block. If I said at 6 a.m. I'm waking up and all I am doing is reading a book for a whole hour, then I'm going to call everybody that I know and love and I care about them. I tell, hey, man, I love you to death, but I promise you, if your house is burning, 6 a.m. is going to be the wrong time for that to happen because you're not going to be able to get a hold of me. All I'm going to be doing is focusing on this book because I've dedicated myself to it. And I'm doing this because I love you and I care about you and I want something better for me. You see that? More intentional, right? When I put something on my calendar at 6 a.m., some of you guys just put it off because it's not important. You got to create time blocks, and time blocks deserve whys in front of them. Because if you don't have a why, most of you guys won't ever do it. You got to identify that because that's what shortcuts the distance between where you're at right now and where it is that you know that you can go. Okay. And so, with that being said, guys, I gave everybody a script, right? So, everybody has a script. What we're going to start to do today is I'm going to show you guys some really cool stuff that we can do inside of Deal Machine that's going to help us out with our marketing tactics. But everybody understand this, right? All you got to do, if you want a copy of this in checklist format, where you guys can just go in and check off every single list that you begin cold calling, texting, sending direct mail, RVMs to, all you got to do is tag me in your Instagram story, screenshot this or whatever, and send me that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Alex will email this to you at the end of this session. But it's imperative that we go over that. That is what structured marketing looks like. Without structured marketing, then we're never going to be able to identify the holes, man. You got to be able to identify your holes, and most people haven't even done that. Okay? How are you supposed to know what your business is faulting in, right? How are you supposed to know what isn't closing your real estate deals when you aren't even tracking what you're doing, dude? Once my trainer told me like everything that I was doing wrong, man, I mean, I went and I lost about 150 pounds after that because I realized what the problem was. It was the metrics. I never tracked them. I never held myself accountable to tracking them. I never saw my business for what it was. And because of that, there were so many holes. All right. But Alex, if you could drop the script in here again, guys, this isn't just one script. This is all of my cold calling scripts. Okay. Scripts are real cool, but one thing that I want you guys to do is pick one and run with it, okay? So what I'm gonna do today, guys, is just show y'all a quick script, and then we're gonna jump into Deal Machine, and then I'm gonna show you guys some really cool stuff that we can learn together, all right? And so, guys, a script is not something that you follow word for word. It's just gonna give you the outline. It's just gonna give you the outline. One of my favorite scenes is from a movie called Django. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but there's this movie where, I mean, pretty much everything's hitting the fan. Cat's out of the bag, and he just found out that those guys are actually not there to buy slaves. They're actually there because they are trying to take the lady, and then he's trying to be reunited with his wife. And so Leonardo DiCaprio knows this, right? And he starts getting a little crazy, and he ends up smashing a skull on his table and busting his hand open. Guys, I want y'all to know when you watch that scene, right? And Django's one of my favorite movies, dude. Quentin Tarantino, GOAT movie, right? And when you watch that scene, he's really bleeding. He actually busted his hand open and smashed his finger. Dude's bleeding all over, and he didn't break character at all. They kept rolling. And if you look at all of the actors, they all have their eyes on him because they realize that that wasn't supposed to happen. And he legitimately hurt himself. He went off script. And guess what? It was one of the most powerful moments in the entire movie. And it really got you to just sit there with him for a minute and see what he was thinking, what he was feeling, and be a part of his emotional journey. And again, I get it, it's acting, right? But that is crazy to be able to utilize your tools like that and go off script. That's what I want you guys to use these scripts for. I might be giving you the script, but don't sound like a robot and read it verbatim. Yet the goal of the script is to make the script yours. All right. So I want you guys to type this out. I'm going to make the script mine. Type it out in the comment section. I will make this script mine. I will make this script mine. I want you guys to pick one and run it. That's how we're going to do this. The script is there for you to memorize what you need to say to get you to the point, but don't lose the most valuable thing that God gave you, my friend, and that is being a human. Always remember this. Humans buy from humans. Humans do not buy from robots. Humans buy from humans, specifically when we're dealing with a service-based industry like what we have today. With this real estate thing, guys, I mean, you're going to have to serve some people to make some money. Be prepared for it, all right? Humans buy from humans, not robots, okay? And so if you're going to sound like a robot, you're going to get treated like a robot. People want to know that you're actually real and that you know what you're talking about. The script is just there as a baseline, a foundational piece of work so that you can make sure that you are still you while you are calling someone, okay? And so, guys, there's tons of things that I want to go over today, but we're going to cover a quick script real fast. It's my favorite one, and it's one that we developed for our company. Okay. And again, you don't have to follow this verbatim, but I'm going to go over it with you guys just so that we have something in front of us. It's called the Infinity Gauntlet script. My old real estate business was called Infinity Gauntlet LLC. So, check this out. I'm going to share it with you. Boom. And let me share my screen real fast, and then we're on this. Okay. So, this is boom. There we are. So Infinity Gauntlet script, seller says hello, says me, hey, how are you doing? Seller says fine, how are you? Who is this? Me, I'm doing good. My name is XYZ. I almost jokingly tell him because I like to just kind of start the call with like a laugh. Like, my name is Quentin. Listen, before you hang up, I'm not a bill collector. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Okay. Jokingly. It's a great way to break the ice because now they know that you're not like a salesman, right? From this point, like I said, my name's Q. I'm a home buyer in the area. Seller said, if the seller says, well, I'm not selling my home, proceed to a negative direction. So you'll know anything else, you can proceed to positive. Negative direction, AKA no. Okay, well, look, I wasn't calling about your property. I'm actually calling homeowners in your area to get the word out that we're interested in buying property in your area. Buy homes in any condition, pay all cash, and close in 30 days. If you know of anybody who's interested in selling, refer them to me. We'll pay you a referral bonus up to 1,500 bucks. If you're going to ask somebody to do something for you, try to compensate them. You know what I mean? Even give them like some reading material. Try to email them something about your company so that they know that they can redeem that 1,500 in the event that they send you a deal. Positive direction, okay? Looking to sell, or I am interested in selling. Awesome. Now we go into getting information about the property. First things first, how much are you asking for the property? Push to get a price. Guys, I want y'all to use this, okay? Anytime somebody says that they're interested in selling, a lot of times people fold in this moment because they're like, well, all right. Well, how much are you willing to give me? That's where you're like, well, how much you be willing, like, how much are you asking for? They're like, no, you give me the price. You're calling me about your property. So let's say I'm calling Marion, right? And I'm like, hey, Marion, I'm interested in buying your property. Marion's like, okay, how much you willing to give me for it? And I said, well, Marion, can you give me an asking price? Marion's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. You're the one who's calling me, asking me about my property. I'll tell you what, give me a good number and I might consider selling. This is my favorite way to mitigate that. Everybody can write this down. This is a recorded call. I say, all right, Marion, I'll tell you what. When you bought that property, did you buy it blind or was there a price tag on it? A lot of times they're going to be like, yeah, I paid a certain amount of money for that property. Yeah, but that's not your business. So I say, okay, well, cool. When you go to the grocery store and
Word. Let's pizza in the oven.
you go to the grocery stores and you shop for whatever it is that you're looking for, aren't there price tags on all of those items before you check out? When you get to the register and you have your cart full of items from Walmart, isn't there a price tag that they show you before you spend the money? Okay, can I ask you to do me that same courtesy, that same common courtesy when you buy something, that there's a price tag on it? Because I don't want to waste your time. So I'd prefer you tell me how much you want for it, and then I tell you whether or not it's worth my time to buy it. That is how you mitigate that. Okay. So when I say push for something, give an example. Give an example. Always try to paint the story of what it is that you're trying to get because a lot of people don't know how rude that is to just be like, well, tell me how much you're willing to give me. I'll tell you how much I'm willing to give you if you tell me how much you're willing to take. There's a price tag on this house when you bought it, man. Or did you buy it blind? So get what I'm doing? I'm pushing. A lot of times they're going to try to make you feel like you're stupid. I'm flipping it on him. This is called reverse psychology. All right. For my people that are in here. So now we have the push to get a price. What can you offer me? It's like, actually, I don't run the numbers. My job is to just gather as much info as possible to help my investors come up with the best possible offer based on the condition of your property. Now's the time to qualify the lead. Person says, yes. Can you tell me a little bit about your house? The goal here now is to get as much information about the property as humanly possible without sounding like a freaking bill collector. Now, guys, there are ways that you can get this information. I haven't updated this script, so I'm giving y'all some sauce while we're on the call together. Okay. The best way to get what a property needs in work, ask probing questions. You don't do this by you just asking about the foundation, the cabinets, the floors, when these things were updated. You know how you do it? I say, I'll say Mr. Delgado, right? My guy Delgado, he's in this call right now. I see you, bro. Mr. Delgado, hey man, I love your property, dude. I want to make you a solid offer on this house. If I were to give you $50,000 to fix the property right now, what would be the first thing that you would address in that home? You see what I just did? Rather than asking these questions and it sounding like I'm reading off of a freaking checklist trying to make sure that I have everything that's wrong with the property, I want to ask this dude to tell me. I'd rather have him tell me because you know why? Sellers love talking about themselves, dude. Give them an opportunity to do that. So I said, Mr. Delgado, I'll tell you what, if I were to give you 50 grand right now, my own money, what would be the first thing that you fix in the home? And now they're going to tell you so much about the property. Oh, yeah. Well, when I first bought that property, my brother, he wanted to lay down new floors and completely messed it up. Now the floors need to be ripped up and replaced. Pretty sure that's going to cost about 7 grand. We got a quote from another guy about the foundation because floors started coming up, and now we don't know how much it's going to cost. Now, you see what he just told me? Now I know that the floors need to be redone. Now I know that there's a foundation issue. All because I asked a probing question. Everything that you can ask for that you can put on this checklist of like the foundation, the roof, XYZ, all of those things have a number attached to it. Why not just let the seller tell you and tell them, like, hey, I'll give you this amount of money if you fix the property. If I were to give you this amount of money if you fix the property, what would be the first thing that you would fix in the home? Now you got them talking, and now you get the opportunity to relate. I want you guys to remember this: relatability eliminates debatability. A lot of you guys will sign up for anything I got to sell. Reason why is because we relate with each other. That's the reality. I mean, I think I can say that a lot of you guys have struggled. I have too, right? How many of you guys have been through depression? I have too. How many of you guys have been homeless before? I have too. How many of you guys have had to sell weed before to get by? I have too. How many of you guys have had a job that you didn't like? I have too. How many of you guys had a boss that you didn't like? I have too, right? How many of you guys are trying to get into real estate, close your first deal? I've been there before too. I know exactly what that looks like. How many of you guys are struggling bill to bill right now because you're not sure if this business can work out, but you're making it happen? You're taking care of your family. I'm proud of you, by the way. If you guys are in that right there, I pray that God meets you right there and shows you how great you are, because you're not here by chance. Okay. But for my people that are here that are living bill to bill, been there too, right? Because you can relate with me, there's a huge chance that I doubt that you'll debate with me. Okay. Because we can probably meet in the middle on a lot of things. And that's what this is about. And so when we're talking to a seller, the goal is to build rapport, not just the script and follow the script and get to the questions. People are going to do business with people that they like. And so if you're not being likable, none of this is going to work. None of this is going to work. Okay. And so let's go ahead and jump into this again. Now that we're here, we get all of the information that we need. If it's land, we look up the zoning, residential, commercial, right? If there's utilities, we want to ask for that. A lot of times what kills a land deal is that it doesn't have any sewage, no septic tank, no gas, no electric. If the property is a land deal, is it sitting on an easement, or is there like address to the house? Now, the goal here, and this is the most important part, is to make sure that you highlight the pain points. If anybody's going to sell you the property, we want to make sure that we're utilizing the 5 Ds. All right. So now it sounds like a great house. Besides my cash offer, why would you consider selling? Emphasize the why on this, because I want to ask them, and now you're going to let them talk. How long have you thought about selling the property? Have you tried to sell this property in the past? If so, was it ever listed on the market? Have you considered renovating the property or listening with a realtor? Have you considered just doing some updates to the home, becoming a landlord, maybe renting it out? Now, from here, we go into the timeline. From the timeline, we go into our offer. While we're getting all this information, we should already have everything pulled up to submit an offer. Based on their questions and their results, we should know how to make an offer on a property, which we're actually going to go into on day 3. Day 3 is going to be all comping, all underwriting, all making offers, all submitting contracts, everything that you need to get your first property under contract. I'm going to show you guys how I underwrite deals, and it's very simple. Once you guys understand the methodology, the methodness behind this, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Now from here, we pitch our offer. Kill zone. From this moment, we know that they're either going to say yes or they're going to say no. If they say yes, then there's ways that you can take the conversation. If they say no, then there's ways that you can take the conversation. Those are positive responses versus negative responses. And so, guys, again, we can create multiple different offer scenarios. Why is McDonald's still in business after years of selling crappy food? Who here really eats at McDonald's, man? I probably have it maybe like once, twice a year, maybe. But I know that there are people, specifically Americans, that eat at McDonald's all the time. Why is McDonald's so damn good at what they do? It's because in everything that they offer, when it comes to a service, they reach 6 Ps. Write this down because I'm getting into some crazy stuff right now, right? The 6 Ps are, I'm going to pull out my notes real fast. Check this out. Not the 6 Ps, I'm sorry. 6 human needs is what they are. If you can reach this on a call, bro, I'm going to tell you, you have full control of where that call's going, okay? So again, the 6 human needs are, write this down. You can put it in the comments section. While you are doing this and you're cold calling, it's imperative. You know you will get a deal under contract if you hit these 6. Guys, what I'm sharing with you right now, I paid $20,000 for. I went to a business mastery with Tony Robbins and I learned this. I'm giving you guys game. Okay. So, number one, the six human needs are number one is certainty, assurance that you can avoid pain and gain pleasure. McDonald's hit this every time. I know for a fact, although I might be in pain in the toilet later, come on, man. McDonald's slaps when it slaps, right? Come on, boy. I know I'm talking to somebody right now, dude. Certainty, assurance you can avoid pain and gain pleasure. Are you giving that to somebody? How much certainty does someone have with you? Right? Second piece, this is crazy. Uncertainty. What? Why would I want to go anywhere and be uncertain about something? Come on, guys. You never sat at a restaurant that you've gone to for years and they shift the menu around. You didn't expect that. How many of you guys have ever gotten a gift during Christmas that you truthfully didn't expect to receive and you got it? I remember when I was 8 years old, the Nintendo 64 just came out like the year prior. And I was so sad because all of my homeboys at school had one. And although I talk about my dad was very hard on me, man. And he was abusive, manipulative guy. The greatest thing that he ever did for me was give me that Nintendo 64 on my eighth birthday. Not my eighth birthday. I just turned 8, and then I didn't get it for my birthday. He got it for me for Christmas. And so I remember the first game I ever got was Turok. I don't know if y'all remember that game. It's one of my favorite games. But yeah, it's like a dinosaur hunting game. So this is the need for the unknown, an immediate change or shift, or a new stimuli, meaning it's something that stimulates your brain because it's new. It's new, right? And so receiving something that you've never given to anybody before is imperative. Like when you get that and you're like, what? Oh my God, this
Hot
guy
take, but commission only sales, it's just as
really
secure.
changed for you, right? The third one, guys, is significance. Feeling unique, important, special, or needed. Number four, connection slash love. This is a strong feeling of closeness or union with someone or something. A lot of you guys that are here, you're here because we all have a common goal. Am I crazy to think that we all don't want to at least close one real estate deal before we leave this world? Like, I think I can speak for everybody here when I say that that's on the top of our list of things to do within the next 45 days. I'm gonna help you do it. There's a reason that we're all here right now is we all have a common goal. We all want the same thing. So there's a strong union of connection and love here in this room, in this building. God has brought us all together. This is great. The fifth piece, growth. Ain't nobody going to stay anywhere where they're not growing, dude. How many of you guys have had a job that you were at for years and they wouldn't pay you more? They wouldn't promote you any further than you wanted to go. And because of that, you left the company. How many guys have left the place because there was no more growth? It's probably why a lot of you guys are here right now because probably feeling that. I've been there. The sixth one is contribution. This is a sense of service or a focus on helping, giving to, and supporting others. Number one, certainty. Number two, uncertainty. Number three, significance. Number four, connection. Number five, growth. Number six, contribution. These are the six human needs that if you can hit them in this business, you will be very, very successful. Give you an example. Okay. Whenever I'm about to put a property under contract, first thing that I do is let them know that they can be certain of me. I will send them over a pre-approval letter with the amount of money that I know I can borrow to buy the house. I'll also send them over a copy of every single HUD statement that I've ever closed in the past. I put them in contact with my title company so they know for a fact that I've done legitimate business. Maybe some of you guys don't have that track record yet. Don't even worry about it. Say that you work with me. Call me your mentor and say, hey, I work with a guy named Q. Q does the business. We buy properties nationwide. I do. I've closed almost a deal in every fucking state that you can think of. Part of my language again. Second one, uncertainty, variety. What are you offering to your sellers? If it's just cash, I'll tell you what, you're a one trick pony and they don't last very long in this circus. Okay. What you want to do is diversify yourself. It's imperative, guys, that if you're in here and you're playing the game of basketball, which is the real estate game, if I'm just shooting a good 2-pointer, do you think I can get drafted in the NBA? Anybody can shoot a 2-pointer. Why do NBA players get drafted? Is because they excel in the game of basketball. They know every single part of the game. They know the position they play. They know the other team and the positions that they play. They know the schematics of the ball. They know the rules to the game. They know how to play the game in every single position. I don't care how many times we all may have seen Tim Duncan shoot a three. We know that he was horrible at it. But if he was going to shoot a three, I promise you, he at least knew how to throw the ball in the air. A lot of you guys might not fully understand this, and this is imperative that you do. But while you're playing this game of real estate, if all you're learning is wholesaling, there's a reason why I'm closing multiple deals every month and you're not. I offer my clients multiple different products. They owe too much on the property, I'm offering subject to. If they For whatever reason, owe it free and clear and my offer ain't high enough, then I'm offering creative finance. If they want to partner with me so I can flip the property because I'm not giving them the amount of money that they want, novation. If they want to list their property retail, I got partnership with a brokerage here in town. We're listing it. See what I'm doing? Right. So we offer so many things to our clients because we want to make sure that they have variety. You're going to lose a deal if all you do is offer 70 cents on the dollar minus repairs equals your offer, which is what most people do. Tomorrow, we're going to go over a lot of underwriting stuff. So just be prepared for it. Okay. But that's the big reason why you're not making it making it happen in real estate. All you know how to do is shoot 2 pointers in a game where you need to know how to play the whole game, bro. When you say that you are a wholesaler, you limit yourself. You limit yourself. I'm just being honest. When you call yourself a wholesaler, you end here. When I say I'm a real estate entrepreneur, it means I'm willing to learn it all and do it all. There's an instant a deal underneath the sun I haven't done. I've done commercial, industrial, single family, multifamily. I've done land. I've done ranches. Every type of deal you can think of, I've been able to facilitate. It's because I stepped out of my comfort zone and I diversified myself. You're in the game of real estate, bro. If somebody were to talk about MMA, you ain't gonna make it if all you know how to do is try to choke someone out. I'm sorry, stand straight up with somebody and get boxed out. We all know what happened to Ronda Rousey. She got kicked in the face and knocked out. That's gonna be you in this business. Is all you know how to do is one thing. So remember this in this business, if you want to have multiple products to offer to your clients, well, what can you do to spice up what you got? If you don't know how to do those other things yet, don't worry about it. You'll learn it in time. But if wholesaling is the first thing you're trying to master, then let's add on. This is my package if I were to just do cash. This is my package if I were to do cash plus pay for your moving expenses plus find you another place to live. You see what I'm doing? So then create variety in your real estate company so that you are maximizing who it is that you are marketing to. The fourth piece, connection. Okay. Connection is so powerful. Your product needs to connect to that person. Okay. There has to be something that you offer that creates a connection. See, the thing about real estate, man, is it is a service business, which is why it is so hard to scale. And the reason why is because there's so many parts of the business that have moving pieces that require human beings to be present. If I crack this drink right now, that's the Waterloo, by the way. This is HEB's brand of sparkling water. I gave up alcohol 5 years ago. And so when I want to drink a beer, this is what I do. There's no alcohol in that thing, but it tastes like a beer and I love them, right? My experience ends when this can is over. That's it. I could say, dang, Waterloo is good. Now, y'all's experience with your sellers ends when they get their money and their check. That's where that ends. But what do you got to do to get there? First, you got to make a first impression, right? It's a service business. There needs to be a connection. Then the next thing you got to get them to sign a contract, which the contract can sometimes scare them away, right? Second service. Third thing, you got to give them a timeline. Now we got to wait for this thing to get title done and then find a buyer, right? So now they have to work with the title company to get everything that they need. It's another service. And then by the time we find an investor, we have to walk the person through the property. They have to make us an actual offer on the house. And then we have to assign it, right? And then when we assign it, finally we get a buyer to the table. Everything's said and done. Seller's going to get what they want. Buyer's going to get the property. You're going to get your assignment fee. And now we got to wait for title company to do their part. And once title company does their part, they schedule both people in. Now the title company got to give them an in-person experience. So they got to go in first and sign. Pray to God they don't get scared last minute. Sometimes this happens. And then buyer goes in, they do their part, boom, fund the deal. Got to pray to God he actually had the money when he signed that contract, right? What did I just do right now? How many holes in the system are there? They're everywhere. So don't be so mad or hard on yourself if you haven't closed the deal yet and you've gotten pretty far. Okay. Most people don't even get past the closing part. And you may have had all of the ducks in a row just for all of them to fall over quack, 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 quack. You know what I'm saying? And so this is very important for all of you guys. We are in a service-based industry. What carries deals to the finish line is your connection to your client and how well you've built rapport with that person for them to trust you enough when things go wrong in the transaction. That's why people lose deals. Okay. Now, again, this is what you call a consumable. What you guys and I have with sellers is a service. So, are you offering a service that creates the most, I'm talking about, inexpensive form of marketing that exists? When you get a seller to the closing table, let me tell you what, if that seller walked away with exactly what they wanted, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to go tell other people about your business. What do you think that gives you? The best form of marketing that exists, word of mouth. Anyways, connection, love, right? People want to make sure that there is a connection. There has to be, especially because we're doing service based business. The fifth piece, growth. Guys, ain't nobody going to do business with you if you're not helping them become better. I know too many people I've seen rip off homeowners, bro. We ain't in the business of ripping off anybody, dude. I hate seeing these checks because sometimes I can tell when somebody was getting taken advantage of. A lot of times people will flex and they'll post online a six-figure closing, and you'll think, wow, all of that on a single family home. What you don't see is that somebody just lost everything. Guys, we don't do business that way. We are in this business to help people. Okay. If you're going to make a six-figure deal, you better make it on a seven-figure deal. Okay. If you're going to make a six-figure check, make it on a seven-figure deal. But if you're going to do that on like a freaking single family home, 20, 30, $50,000, your seller walked away with 20 grand while you walked away with 150. I'm sorry, man. I don't want to do business with you, dude. That's not how we roll. My goal when I got into this business was to help people. And let me tell you something. If you're not helping people, you don't belong in this business. This business is about servitude, and God will see what you did. And when you get to the pearly gates, you explain to him what that looks like. Okay. But I promise you this, God knows your heart. So if you're going to make money on anybody's property, we do it ethically. We do it where it makes sense. Don't try to justify something wrong by saying, "Oh, I'm not staring at his pocket, so why should he stare at mine?" Well, I make my money how I want to make. No, dude, you're making an excuse for yourself. We don't do this that way. Every single person, when we're done doing business with them, they are better off after they found us. Good business brings you good business. Bad business, well, let me tell you what, man, that's going to bite you bad one day, and God will humble you. Okay. I know this because it's happened to me, and I'm speaking from experience here. Always do right. Growth is important no matter what. Your people should be better off when you are done doing business with them. Last piece, contribution, a sense of service and a focus on helping and giving to and supporting others. Now, you guys might not know this, and I'm going to say it here because it's important. I know I had a lot of you guys sign up for the AW Mastermind program. I really appreciate you guys. 20% of the amount of money that I make in that program. When I was a kid, and this is just me being real with you guys, when I was a kid, my mom and my dad used to beat the crap out of each other. My dad would overpower my mom. I'd see my mom getting strangled and punched in the stomach all of the time. So one time it got really, really bad, right? My mom wanted to leave my dad. She loaded us all up in a van. I remember this day because it was WrestleMania 16. That was the day, right? And when I went, because I was watching it on the little ghetto pay-per-view box that my dad had bought for the house. He, like we have fire sticks and stuff, and like people can ghetto rig those. Well, my dad did that to a cable box back in the day, and so we had free cable, and I got a chance to watch the free pay-per-view. So excited. There were other things on there, you know what I'm saying? And I just try to stay away from them. God knows my heart, but I was a boy, and every now and then a booby would pop out. It is what it is. Okay, I was a kid. Now, when this had happened in this time frame, I remember my mom would try to load us up into the van, and the van didn't work. And so what we did was we walked. So my mom and I, with my two, three brothers and sisters, were walking, and she called a cop to come and pick us up and take us to a place. I got a chance to spend a whole month in one of the safest places that I've ever been away from my father. And it was a sanctuary for women and children that were getting beaten by the men in their lives, their fathers or their husbands, right? And I didn't know what this place was until I got older. I remember I was 28 years old, and I learned about it. And I just remember I was talking to my mom, and I said, "Mom, what was that place that we stayed at?" She said, "Oh, it's ran by the Salvation Army. The cop told us to go there." I said, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "Well, the place is called the Women's and Children's Battered Shelter." I said, "What?" So there's a place in San Antonio that does this, okay? 20% of the income that I make from the Accelerated Wealth Mastermind, which is my paid program, it's only $97 a month, and it's 7 days for free if you guys want to try it out. Alex put it in there. 20% of that goes to buying thousands of toys every single year during Christmas. And we give those toys to these places where these women and children, they don't get Christmases, bro. They don't get Christmases. All right. When I was in there, I remember I got toys, I got clothes, I had friends. There was a friend that I had, man, his name was Jacob. His eye was black and swollen shut because his dad had just clocked him in the face for no reason. And so, guys, like I remember these things when I was a kid. And when I got older, I realized how important it was to give back. And so that's something that I do. Guys, I don't ever ask for a dollar. You try to, tell me how much can I donate to it. Sometimes when I announce this on these big calls, people are like, "Where do I send the money, Q? Where do I send the money?" They're trying to slap their credit card on me. And I'm like, "No, I will never touch a dollar from every single person that donates to this thing." I'll ask you to buy toys and send them to my office. And so the way that we do this, guys, I create like an Amazon wish list and I fill it up with toys, educational, video games, toys, and everything. By the time we're said and done with this whole thing, boy, I got boxes on boxes on boxes of toys from the bottom all the way up to the ceiling, man. And I tell you what, dude, I've never met a single child that I've donated these toys to, but I know where they go because we meet with the lieutenant in the Salvation Army. It's a military based company, right? And he picks up all these toys, bags them, and he tells me exactly where they're going. They won't tell guys where these places are, mind you. You have to be a woman. You have to be going through some form of distress like this, where a man is abusing you. And, like growing up and seeing that in my dad, I always wanted to make sure that when I got older, I'd contribute. So, like 20% of the income that I make from that company goes to this. 20% of what I make in my real estate business goes to the Ferrari Kid Foundation, right? And so, how does your business contribute to the world getting better? That's what I'll ask you. Because most of you guys, you're focusing on pouring the cup right now that's internal. Well, let me tell you what, when you get blessed, it's imperative that you give back. You got to give back. So, if you're going to make your 5K, 10K, 30K, 50K, whatever you're making in this business, how are you contributing? People want to do business with people that are actually going out of their way and doing something good in this world. So, always ask yourself, when you decide to really incorporate yourself and take your business seriously, how is your business contributing to the betterment of society? Okay. People do businesses with companies like this. Sometimes I tell a seller, they're like, what? Of course I'll sell you my property. Man, you're telling me 20% of this goes to kids that are dying of cancer and they get to experience a whole day at a movie theater that we buy out, red carpets with fancy cars pulling these kids up? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. Where do I sign on the dotted line? And so like, where's that information on your website? Where are those people? Where can people see more information about that? How are you contributing? People do business with companies that give back, man. You know what I'm saying? And so kind of think about that. How can your business contribute? Guys, this is just like tithing given to the church, right? It's that you get to choose what you tithe to. Doesn't always have to be the church, it can be somewhere else, like maybe a women's and children's battered shelter. I don't know. So these are the 6 human needs. When you start cold calling and you're running game utilizing these scripts, the goal is to hit these 6 human needs using this script. If you can do that, my friend, you will make so much money in this business. Okay. So, guys, this is the script that I like to use. This is the one that I would recommend that everybody get better at. Second piece of advice that I'll give you as you begin getting better at this, anytime that you are hit with an objection, I want you guys to do it this way. Okay. So, I'm going to write this out on this board right here. Anytime you get an objection, maybe something that you don't know how to answer, this may kill the whole call. Anytime you get an objection, I want you to do this, okay? And this is going to help you out a lot. Number one, write the objection out. What was it that they said that got you stuck? Number two, we're going to write our now prepared answers to the objection. We're going to have 1, 2, and 3 different answers for this objection. When you do this, I'd like for you to write it on a postcard, or you can use a flashcard that you can get at, like, I don't know, Office Depot, right? And on the front, you're going to write out your objection. On the back, you're going to write out your answers. And every single time you get an objection, I want you guys to practice on yourself. By now, by the end of like calling 200 people, you should have like 50 plus objections that you were not able to overcome. I want you to practice with yourself now. Take these flashcards, shuffle them like a deck, and then pull out one, read it to yourself, and then try to memorize overcoming that objection. That's called the objection game. I play this with my office. I'd like for you guys to play it with yourselves. That sounds funny to say, but I'm telling you guys, I'd like for y'all to play that with yourself because this is going to create muscle memory. Okay. Now, guys, the objections you write down. Now, I have my own objections. They're inside of my private community. There's over like 300 of them with 3 different answers for each one. So if you wanted to just skip the BS and get involved, you guys can just sign up for the program. Alex can drop the link to the school program in the comment section below. But guys, this is important for all of y'all. All right. The objection game is to help you create muscle memory to how you go about overcoming objections. And so, guys, this is fire, man. I'm telling you, I know nobody teaching this. Like, I know what I'm talking about. Okay. So we talked about the reticular marketing system. We talked about tracking and measuring what we're doing. We talked about understanding a script. We talked about the 6 basic human needs, and we talked about training for objections. All of those things are prep work. I want everybody here to memorize these things and get it going for yourself before you begin doing what I'm going to show you now. All right, guys. So today, what we're going to be doing is, now that we've gone through all of the foundational work, in my opinion, we're ready to start marketing. So I'm going to log into Deal Machine real quick, and I'm going to show you guys some really cool stuff that you can do utilizing the platform. But I think that it's so important that we laid the foundation with what I just went over right now, and I hope everybody here got value from that. Super fire game. Drop a fire emoji if you're just learning stuff that you haven't found on YouTube, please. I would love to know. It's not to feed my ego or anything, but I think that I'm definitely up there with one of the best coaches. I'm self-proclaimed currently. Unless one of you guys want to say the Q's the best coach in the world, and I don't know. But yeah, self-proclaimed. Don't do that, man. I got a big head already, bro. Okay. So let's jump into it. Let's jump into it. I'm going to share my screen, guys. So yesterday, what we did was we created a few different types of lists. We're going to open them up right now. All right. Now, first thing that we want to do is, when we have our list and it's in front of us. So we got 386 leads on this one. I want to kind of show you guys how you can get some decent numbers as we begin going about utilizing the software for our marketing efforts. Okay. And so, guys, make sure you guys give me a shout out, tag me on Instagram, tag me on Facebook. I'll share all of the posts. And yeah, man, it'd just be really cool because I'm really going to dive into this. It's noteworthy to mention that all of these addresses have property information inside of them. Once you have the lead, all you got to do is select all of these leads here, right? And then hit the call button. Once you hit this button here, this button is going to begin calling them in sequence one by one from left to right. Okay. And if they don't answer, it's going to move to the next one, 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 to the next one. Okay. But before we do any of that, before we get on the phone with anybody, we want to make sure that we're maximizing this platform to the best of our abilities. And so, guys, I selected 25 leads here. First, I want to do is kind of give you an idea. You get somebody on the phone, then how does this work? We're going to click here. We're going to view the lead, and we're going to see what's going on. So this is an off-market, high equity, tax delinquent property owned by a senior citizen, and it's currently on a vacant list. This house is an estimated $731,000 worth of equity, 83%. That is a high equity property. You can also see where their address is at. So this is in California, right? As you can tell, they're not anywhere else, but the property is in currently a trust. So we can honestly assume that this is a probably like a person that doesn't want to be found, hence the address. I would say that this might even be a real estate investor. We have a few people that the property might be associated with. There's a John O. Knox, but kind of going into this, right? You have 989 square feet, built 1953. Look up more info. It'll tell you more about the property. It's good to kind of know all of these things while you're on the phone. Then going in here, property is tax delinquent for the current year. Nothing crazy though. They only owe $1,000 in taxes. You can see what the assessed land value is, and that'll give you like a general idea what the lot value looks like. If the property is like kind of burn damage, sometimes you want to tear those down. This is an estimated rehab cost. This is the approximate cost to repair or renovate a property to a sellable or rentable condition. Now, again, what they're looking at though is the outside of the house. That's how they're getting this information. If I hit more info, you can see a little bit more about cost per square feet, which could be anywhere between $20 and $50 per square foot. Building quality, they're going to say that it's a C, and you can see exactly what that looks like here. C is pretty good, kind of typical, means that they need specific amount of work, and then their HOA if there is an HOA on this house. Now, if you select the comp tool here, the comp is going to pull MLS data to give us a general idea of what this property could be worth. Now, estimated value is a lot of times higher than what we're seeing here. So they're saying average price per square foot based on two comps. Average price 762, but the estimated value conservatively could be 691. These are great numbers to just go off of as you begin calling and trying to make an offer. Okay. And so that's just kind of game for you guys on a little bit on what you can do. Now, if I wanted to, I can send them a piece of direct mail. So I want to show you guys something real quick. Embedded into this software is a dialer. My goal for everybody here is to use the scripts that I have given you and to call at least 50 leads. So this will be your homework. Alex, you can add this to the homework regimen. Call a minimal of 50 leads. And we're going to use the dialer. Once I hit call, this thing's going to start going off. and you can make as many calls as you like until you run out of minutes, which they're like pennies, a fraction of a penny. I think they're like 1/10 a penny per minute. It's going to take you a while to burn through $60, $30 is what you get from using the credits that you're given for signing up a deal machine. Now, if I wanted to, though, if I wanted to, right, on any of these lead lists that I have, even we collect, like, even if we go to this one, the 125, right? This is 125 leads from what market was this? I think this was North Carolina, right? If I wanted to, I could select the first 25, hit start direct mail, and I can select any of these postcards here, and they all have a cost to them. I'm just going to do one of these ones that say 57 cents. This one right here will probably use I don't know if you guys can kind of see what the template looks like. This one right here will probably use the Google image and tie it to the front. Or you can just use like a straight freaking thing that looks just like this, right? Hi, my name is Q, and I have cash ready to buy your home, my name, my phone number, my email address, and then here, just straight flat postcard. Sometimes these convert. I do like them when they're lime green though. So if we wanted to, we could change the color of that. Some people like this one, the purple, right? So this would do like a purple one. Owner of the property, Jane Doe, property address here. We urgently want to speak with you about the above mentioned property. So there's like so many different types of direct mail that we can choose from. Now, if we go to the mail center, guys, check this out. So there's a mail center here. Boom. You can see when your letters are going out. You can also see what letters have been sent, right? So this is my last batch. I think this one's already going to be sent out. I didn't mean to do that, but we have a letter going out. It says May 13th, I sent out a letter. So we can track that. I spent 71 cents. You guys can load credits into your deal machine account here. So you can add credits. So when you add marketing credits, you can add them here, confirm your purchase. I think in my deal machine account, I have like $762 worth of marketing credit. So I use that for direct mail. It's going to not really break the bank. If I'm being honest, the mail's pretty cheap. And once you put it in queue, you can see how many letters are being sent out and how many of these have been completed. And it'll also tell you when those mailers drop so that you can be prepared to answer the phone. So you can use your actual number if you'd like. You can use a burner number if you'd like. It's not illegal to send direct mail, guys. You can send direct mail using the platform. So yeah, going back to the leads here, just by hitting those 25 leads. So I'll go ahead and I'll select whatever 25 pop up real fast. Boom. Click that 25, start direct mail. I'm going to choose the first postcard here. We'll continue. And just like that, guys, with a click of a button, we have 25 pieces of direct mail getting scheduled to go out. Pay as you go. Come on, man. 17 bucks. Like that is nothing, dude. So boom, start mail. If my marketing credits dip below zero, it'll automatically add $10 from my debit card to my deal machine account. Now, all of you guys get $30 on your boy. So 25 pieces of direct mail on a 71-cent postcard might burn up like half of that budget. So I wouldn't recommend sending it out to all of those. But if you got a small list, like I think yesterday I built a list for like 22 leads, that would be one that I would send direct mail to, man. Now you don't have to use direct mail system in Deal Machine to send direct mail, but it is really cool that you can do cold calling, that you can leave voice messages while you're cold calling, and you can send direct mail. So you can already check 3 of those things off with one software. Eventually, if you wanted to, if anybody downloads the Deal Machine app on their phone, you can create a route for all of these. So check this out. Like, let's say I wanted to drive these properties, right? So we're just going to select that 25 leads, lead actions. I want to drive these houses. You can create a driving route. It's probably not here because I'm using the desktop, but you can select all of your leads and create a driving route and then go and knock on each individual one. While you guys are out there driving for dollars and door knocking, maximize your time. If you're out there and you're knocking on doors, dude, you're doing things that like 90% of the community doesn't do. Okay. And so what I'm saying is like have some printable material, have some letters that you can write by hand that you can slap on doors, maybe like a sticky note, maybe like a flyer, right? You can get these built on like Vistaprint, canva.com. So you can get like business cards you can drop, letters, you can put them with priority mailers in the front. You can maybe you can leave like a door hanger or something. Maybe you can knock on the neighbors' houses as well. Maybe you can write down addresses like in Deal Machine when you're driving for dollars, you can press the address on the app and it'll pull up that person's information and add it to your lead pool. So that way you have leads as you're driving for dollars. So while you're driving for dollars, you can use Deal Machine to capture every vacant property that you see while you're in your route. So that's damn cool. You know what I mean? For my guys that are bootstrapping it, doing it that way, I'm gonna be honest, man. If you did that, you'd probably close a deal pretty fast. That's how your boy started, just door knocking. And I didn't have no fancy software, man. Like Deal Machine wasn't even relevant back in 2014 when I was knocking on doors, dude. So just so that you guys know, that is something that you can do with Deal Machine, and the app is freaking phenomenal. You get a vacant property in front of you. Not only can you add that as a lead into your CRM through Deal Machine, you can call it on the freaking spot. You can send it a piece of direct mail on the freaking spot. So maximize the app while you're using it on desktop as well. Okay. So going back into this, with this being said, guys, we have the majority of the information that we need in front of us to start marketing. Okay, we talked about the dialer and sequence. Tomorrow, when I hop on a call with you guys, it's going to be all sales, baby. So you guys are going to see me cold call. But my goal is that today, your homework is utilizing this software to begin your marketing tactics with the list that you've built today. I want everybody here to submit at least 3 offers, call at least 50 leads, send at least 20 pieces of direct mail using your free direct mail credits. Okay? That's y'all's homework that I'm going to be giving you guys. Now, some of y'all might be wondering, say, Q, okay, well, how can we maximize this? If I'm going to be cold calling, what do I know what to say? How do I know what to offer? How do I get it? Check this out. We get a lead in front of us, right? This one right here, 2113 Clinton Road. We already know that it's off market, free and clear, tired landlord, senior owner, corporate owner, vacant home, absentee, high equity. I mean, bro, it has so many in like motivation indicators. You'd be crazy to not be marketing to this person. Now let's do this. You see this thing here? You guys see this little circle? This is a cheat code, y'all. I'm about to blow y'all's mind real fast. This is Alma. Meet Alma, your AI real estate helper. So this is still novice. It's learning as we are all using. So all of you guys are going to be able to help with this property and not this property, but with this software and it becoming better. So first and foremost, what do we need to do? Well, I need to analyze the property. Let's just click on that. What kind of investment strategy are we going to do? Let's say we want to do a wholesale deal. We want to make at least 10 grand. So now it's going to calculate an offer for me based on these numbers. It's going to run comps for me based on comps that are in the area. Since there's no estimated loan balance provided, we can assume that the property is free and clear. This means the seller wouldn't need to pay off any existing loan balance. When accepting an offer, additionally, with a maximum allowable offer of $47,740, which is significantly lower than both the estimated market value and the estimated equity of the home. This creates a strong margin for a wholesale deal. Based on these factors and setting aside any rental data, the property just does seem to have the potential to be a good wholesale opportunity. So let's do this then. I like it, but I want to offer 70% of market value minus repairs. Give me a detailed repair cost estimate based on the Google images of the property. Calculate me making a $5,000 assignment fee on this deal. Come on, y'all. Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Come on. Watch this, y'all. This is crazy. This is really crazy. So it's going through the notion of giving me everything that I need. I want to offer 70% of market value minus repairs. Give me a detailed repair cost estimate. So here we are. Everything that we need, everything. Okay. So check this out. Below, estimated 75% minus repairs. Our offer is 98,700. Step 2, estimating repair costs based on the outside of the home. They're thinking it could be about $50,000 in repairs. Then it breaks down what they're seeing based on the outside of the home. So with that being said, they're going to calculate maximum price before assignment fee using the investor formula. They're saying that my MAO is $47,000, 740 bucks. Step 4, incorporate the assignment fee. So we're going to be offering $42,740 because we want to make at least 5 grand on this house. Based on this calculation, you would ideally negotiate an acquisition price of $42,740. This allows you, after subtracting repair costs from a 70% of market value, to pocket 5 grand. Actual repair costs may vary when you get a professional contractor's assessment. So guys, come on. Is this not game? Drop a fire emoji. Let's do this even further. I need a script to present this offer to my seller. Come on. Guys, this is what technology looks like. This is wholesaling in 2025, man. Look at that. Hi, Mr. Seller. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me today about your property. I've taken a close look at everything and I've run some numbers based on a simple formula that we use, which is typically 70% of market value. We have to make money as investors. Here's how I arrived at the offer. The estimated market value of the property is XYZ. 70% of that comes out to 98. But based on a careful review of the property's condition, including all of the structural things that we're looking at, repair costs be around $50,000. This estimate includes work based on things that we can see from the outside, obviously. But that brings the total amount, because we want to include our assignment fee, to $42,000. I want to emphasize that we have no estimated loan balance on the property. It would appear to be free and clear. In other words, you won't have to worry about paying off any existing loans. We truly believe this is a fair offer reflecting both the current. You see what I'm saying? So, guys, the fact is that it gives you a baseline of what to say, right? Look, guess what? I need this. Give me some objections to expect and 3 ways to overcome them. Come on. Oh, you'd be like, okay, what if the seller says this? Here you go. Now, I wouldn't recommend that we even mention this part, the objection 3. We don't need to mention the assignment fee in our offer, guys. We're going to make that on the back end. It's not bending the truth. It's just, it's going to confuse your seller if you talk about making an assignment fee. They're going to say, what the hell is that? They're going to have to explain it to them. I just tell them, hey, we have other investors. They're going to take a look at this property. We get compensated for doing that. So trust in the idea that you're going to get exactly what you want for the house. We're going to give you what you're asking for. I'm going to get you the money that you need. That's all that matters. Sign here. That's all you want to say, guys. So just so that y'all know, right? So this is a great way that you can utilize Alma to really get an idea of what it is that you can offer for your sellers when you begin making your offers. Alma is an AI tool. She gets smarter the more that you use it and the more that she begins to understand your business. Always kind of refer to this as you are going about doing this. Sometimes when I'm on a call with people, I have Alma up in front of me because I might not know what to say. And I'm like asking, like, okay, so what should I say here, Alma? One moment, Mr. Seller. And then I ask Alma and I say, okay, now I got something to say. You get what I'm saying? And so, guys, AI is a part of Deal Machine and it's included with the subscription. You guys can use it on the free trial. So, Alex, make sure everybody downloads Deal Machine so that they can use it for this trial. But, guys, this is what I'm expecting everybody here, right? The goal here is to make a minimum of 3 offers, call at least 50 people, okay? Make 3 offers. That's the goal. Everybody understand that? Once we know this, we can incorporate trackable metrics in our marketing tactics to ensure that we're hitting every single deal that we possibly can. All right? So, guys, that's y'all's homework for today. Super excited. I know I went through a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm going to pause the recording and then open this thing up for a Q&A. So if you're watching this from wherever you're watching this from, thank you guys so much. Incorporate these things. I promise you'll be successful. Everybody stay right now, though. I'm just going to pause the recording. All right. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Let's get it.